40 plus. It's time to leave them young girls alone and get you a woman who understands the signs of a stroke. Start rewarding inconsistency with unavailability.
So everybody's going to be consistent at doing something.
That time, you confuse a lesson for a soulmate.
Bible never tells a woman to love a man. You're supposed to love her. She's not supposed to love you back at the same level.
Because when you have all these contingencies, you're not saying, I'm not going to love you. I'm not going to let God love you through me.
So somebody told me a long time ago, they said, look, before you go on a date with someone, release first. They said, release first, so that way, when you go on that date, now you're not just looking at them through sexual eyes. You can clearly see what that person is saying and what that person is doing.
But what the kind of brother that gets sleepy after?
You can trust them to be themselves.
May this help. Will this help you?
Don't forget the maybe, baby. Don't forget the maybe, baby.
All I'm saying is we need to get in the studio.
It's showtime.
Welcome to another episode of Maybe This Will Help. Oh, were you gangbanging?
Hey, we caught him. That brother mid gangbang.
Golly. Whoever that is, let them live, brother. Yeah.
All right, you know.
Praise the Lord, saints.
Wow. Praise His holy.
Welcome to another wonderful episode of Maybe This Will Help.
Will this help you?
Right.
Don't forget the maybe, baby. Don't forget.
Why Mike don't ever join in on the song?
Have
They
you
waiting on
joined
Mike
in
to
yet?
sing anyway.
Have you joined in yet?
No, I haven't. But I wasn't here.
Come on, give us something.
I wasn't here.
But you're here now.
I wasn't here.
But you're here now. You do arrow part. And if
So-
you do
so-
arrow part,
so
then Mike
this
gonna do
is
my
my
part.
dilemma. What part do you join in at? Are you the percussions? Are you the strings? Like where do you you know what I'm saying?
Carrie
Maybe
coming with the
this will
remix.
help.
Will
No,
this
see,
help
Dale's not
you?
Early? What we doing early?
Just one.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to another wonderful episode of Maybe This Will Help, where four gentlemen give their goods, bads, and differences. It's three this time, but he's with us in spirit.
Oh,
Don't look at my girl.
In spirit.
Yeah.
We give the good, the bad. We will talk about the good, the bad, and the alimony of relationships from every standpoint of life.
You know what I like about
Just-
this show
What's up?
is we've all been on the other side. No, not you, Donnie.
Okay.
You are
Jesus.
you are the bane of my existence. But
Spell it. Spell it right now.
I don't want to be a
Just go get denim.
we've all been on the both sides of the good guys and the not so good. I won't say bad guys, but not so good guys. Meaning
No,
we
that was a bad guy.
Terrible. Terrible.
Completely.
okay,
Horrible.
Okay, dirt bags.
Listen.
Bottom of
Dirt
okay,
bag
got it.
syndrome.
Bottom feeders. Okay, well,
Oh.
Wow.
well, I'm glad. Wow, Kerry.
Too
No.
far, Mike. Too far.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Speak for yourself.
But I'm happy that we are no longer those men and can really like sit down and talk and hopefully help somebody, if not ourselves.
Me and Carrie
You
are
are-
trying to
Donnie,
confess.
you look
We
like
like,
a
we like.
bottom feeder.
Sometimes I have my moments like
Listen, I've been that guy. I've I can't ever say I was a bad boyfriend. I was a great husband, but
Ain't that something?
like
Ain't that something?
outside of that, I was kind of a dirtbag,
Do you ever have
Exactly.
relapses? Or do you have to keep yourself in check sometimes about not falling back into old habits and old ways? Or have you been in this this lifestyle routine so long that it's just a natural flow for you?
To be honest with you, it just doesn't even feel good to go back to that kind of shit. You know what I'm saying? I'd rather be honest and hurt your feelings than lie to you and make you happy.
Donnie's quiet, so should we just move on to the welcome?
I have my moments. I mean, hell, I'll just say it like that. I have my moments. Yeah, I guess I told you guys on the show before I didn't think I was a bad boyfriend. I've had a couple people text me and correct me. Because perception. It was perception. Like, no, sir, you didn't do well that time. I appreciate it. Yeah, that's what I need. Probably.
She sent you a text
Wanna
immediately.
Appreciate it. I was talking to one of my friends. about, remember the last episode where I was talking about just, you know, the young lady who I kind of had to express like I don't feel the same. She was like, she hit me up like, Donnie, it didn't. That's not how that conversation went. That it wasn't the tone and everything. I was like, I was just explaining the story, but you right. So you know me, I just get on here be embellishing stuff.
Donnie
don't
had a
listen to
damn
me.
moment.
Damn.
I said,
damn
it.
Yeah, I don't know which one of my representatives wanted to tell the story, but clearly in the moment, I guess I had to be. I was more respectful, but you know, who cares? So,
And that's all based, but like you said, though, that's all based on perception. Somebody may have just been overly emotional at the moment and took what you said as just being disrespectful, opposed to, you know what I mean, somebody that was level-headed may have just been like, oh, that's just how he feels. Okay, cool. I can respect
well, the person I was talking to is extremely understanding though. Like they kind of get me. You
So
know,
you
they
weren't
get
asshole.
offended at first, but they're like, well,
Jesus Christ!
to each his own, man. I think everybody got it in them. You know, and it comes out at different point in time. So, yeah.
Well, gentlemen, let's check in before we get this show started, man. Mike, how was your week, brother?
Great week. A lot of work got done for my job, for my business. Business is booming. Yeah, man, I have
Boom. You brought $5.
I don't got it on me. I have nothing. I have nothing negative to say.
Niggas got whole cash app these days. He's talking about, I ain't got it on me. I'm fresh out.
I ain't got it on me. I'm only using cash these days.
That's how the smokers do when they can't find their cigarettes. Ooh. I got one on me, brother.
I honestly hate y'all.
Donnie, what's up? What's up with you, brother?
Donnie got his hair out. It was a fly week.
You know, listen.
I had to get free.
Swoop. Got the swoop, nigga.
Do you take both hands? Do you take both hands and lay it?
Not just one. You take one, you throw it over, and then you like fork it up a little bit, and then give it some body, and then you.
I guess when you got good hair, you could do stuff like that.
Mike, take your braids out. We got the same hair. Carrie, grow yours back. We got the same hair. No. We all got the same hair.
Oh no. No, I'll leave that.
No, listen. This is why I'm bald, because I used to talk about people. Mike does not have our hair. Okay,
I thought he did.
Listen.
No.
Oh, my bad.
But it just grows faster.
Yeah, mine doesn't grow at all. Okay.
Well, my week was good. Granny went to the hospital, so she didn't get a chance to spend Thanksgiving with us. But when we called her, she was like, "Baby, y'all have fun, enjoy yourselves, because I'm getting the platinum treatment in here." Like, they was really taking care of her in there to the point to where she wasn't even in a rush to come home. But she's home now. Granny is home.
Listen,
appreciate the prayers.
Wishing she could go back, huh?
I'm about to say, because Nana was really like, I really don't want all these niggas in my house.
Man,
that's why she was like, no, y'all go on and have it, baby. It's good.
Low key, man. But
you should see Nana when after she done playing dominoes, she like, all right, you niggas can go now.
And when she play dominoes, homie, she don't be playing, man. She be like, listen here, y'all don't care if you my nephew, my grandson. Right now, you about to get these bones.
You about to get these bone hands.
But it was a good week for therapy. I'm about to go in here and delete this stuff going on over here. Sorry, fellas. I'll finish up in a minute. Carrie, go ahead, take over.
My week was absolutely breathtaking for me, as like having a outer body moment. Like I felt like I really got to watch God work through my spins, man. It's been an amazing journey as a DJ, and I'm really coming into myself and what blessings God has given me in this. I had an amazing set at Cherry Poppin' on Wednesday.
He's out there popping cherries, huh?
Listen, Jack. And then, yesterday I did Brunches Bay for a millennial, both Hollywood gigs. So, man, it's just really been a dope week, man. I got Tuesday coming up at the Melody Bar. So if y'all not doing nothing for Taco Tuesday, pull up.
I'll be there.
And then Sunday is Dragonfly. I'm spinning for Dragonfly for De La Soul.
Nice.
TG3's De La Soul joint. So, but back to you,
yeah, man. So I had therapy this week too. Therapy was great. My therapist is dope. Continuing my journey back to myself, so my life can continue to begin. It's been good, man. I've been feeling good. I'm feeling free. Clearly, got the hair out today or the last few days. Just, man, I'm finding my groove, man, with the new job. and everything. I'm finding my spot, my sweet spot, man. And I'm really trying to enjoy it and continue to, you know, man, just walk in my purpose, man. You know, just everything going on for the holidays with the new job and with Granny and with me, you know, refinding myself in certain, you know, areas. It's been a lot, man. But today I actually felt like I found a flow, man. I went with my bishop to this church out in Whittier. He got this big initiative working with the foster youth, and it's always good to get around your mentors. You know what I'm saying? Like, you just glean from them, man. You just see them so far ahead of you and what they're involved in, how they want to incorporate you. And it's good to be around, man, just your mentors, man. Like, that's what they're there for. Like, if you've neglected to call your mentor, call them, you know, reach out to them, say, can we just talk for like 5-10 minutes, man? They're so essential. I remember there was a point in time where I wouldn't date a girl who didn't have a mentor. That's how serious I took it. And I recognize that that's not a red flag. It's just a preference, but serious talk, man. So that was my week.
Do you have a mentor for? Never mind. Okay, never mind. So of course, our other brother is taking the time that he needs to take for self-care is the most important. Y'all know I was gone for a couple months based on self-care, man. So by the way, man, before we really get into this, I just want to say thank you to everybody who prayed for me, who cared about, who thought about, who sent the message. This Thanksgiving, I thought was going to be, don't get me wrong, it was hard, but I thought it was going to be a lot worse. No, it was anyway.
Yep, mash it in.
Mush. This is my first holiday without Granny and Pawpaw, man, and it was a bit rough. Funny story, real quick, and then we'll get into the show. I made my grandmother's yams, and I was trying to figure out what it was that I was missing because I kept tasting them. I'm like, I'm missing something. I found out what it was that I was missing. Put them in the oven. After the rest of the food was out, they came out. I took a taste of them, instantly broke down, instantly started crying. Right? It was like heartwarming memories. But I called Kiana because anytime I feel some kind of way, I call her to speak to my son. She was like, that is definitely your twin. I said, why? She said, because after I made yams, I gave him a taste of them. And she said, Mom, they're so good. And she said he instantly broke down crying because that was Granny's things. Granny yams were amazing. Mike, you didn't get a chance to have them. Donnie's had them, but you know, Granny did some things in the kitchen that were unbelievable. So I just want to say thank you for everybody that cared, gave a damn, thought about, actually sent the message. Thank you for all of that. And now let's get into some things.
Let's get into some things, man.
No vagina is whack or dry. You just don't turn her on. I'm jugular out the gate, bruh. Let's get into this, huh? I'm back. Donnie.
One more time. I didn't expect you to start
that was
there.
Disgusting, bro.
That post is
you put your tongue out.
Somebody liked it.
Shut up, bitch. I know somebody that liked it. No vagina is whack or dry. You just don't turn her on. Go ahead, gentlemen.
Nah, you chose it. Go ahead.
Whack or dry.
It's gonna be on your beard, so.
Jeez Louise, you know. Jesus of Nazareth. I think that I'm one of those people. What's the word now that you can't have sex with somebody unless you have like a mental connection, like you actually
statutory rape.
Fuck.
That's not it. Consensual. What's the word you're looking for? Sapiosexual.
What are you like? Demi? Is it what is it? Hold on. Let me. It's in the thing. Like basically, I'm at that point where if I don't have a connection with you, like it's not popping off from the gate. Like we're not just finna I like you, I think you're attractive, you got ass and titties, and we finna just pop off. Cause my brain and my other brain don't have the connection they used to. You know what I mean? Like I mean, it's a deeper connection. Like it used to be like, oh no, go ahead, dude. You do what you want to do down there. Nah, not anymore, bro. It's a whole different vibe. They in the state, they hand in hand now. Hand in hand. Anyway. Okay. No,
Mike, Mike looked like he had some issues turning women on.
Jesus. Sapiosexual, that's what it is.
Yes. Yes.
Kiana said, and just that fast. I'm out. Congratulations, Kiana's getting married on the 8th. Congratulations to her and Johnny. I just wanted to put that out there, man.
Congratulations, sis.
Yeah, man. It's going down.
All right.
So, Mike.
Oh, where'd it go? Guys are not typically connected at first. That's the cause of the dryness. It was, huh?
What do you mean by that, Jav? Like, what do you mean by they're not typically connected at first? You know what? I guess I can help her explain that a little bit. Most guys are dick first. Most guys think with that first until you get to a certain point where you've realized it's more to it than just that.
I agree. I feel like in my younger years, for sure, it was definitely that, and I feel like I had to go through some things because of that I didn't want to have to go through. And at this point, like, you know, it's better to think with your big head instead of your small head.
I don't know what you're talking about because both. Never mind. Go ahead.
Well, you need to go to the doctor, nigga. If both your heads are the same size, nigga, you have a problem, nigga. That's called elephantitis, nigga. You got a problem. You got your vaccine in the wrong place, brother. Hold up.
Oh, Jesus. Okay.
But I agree with that. That chemistry definitely has to be there on both sides, really. For anything to really go down the way it's supposed to go down.
So I'll say it like this, man. I feel like it's a biological situation. So your biology is what releases that, right? So either y'all not connected, y'all not vibing, and there's no attraction that's releasing those specific hormones into the body and telling the body to create these juices, or a person's nutrition can be off because your body could be trying to release the hormones and whatnot, but you're not feeding your body the right stuff, and you need to eat some fruit. You need to drink some water. You need to, sit in the bath a little bit longer. It's certain things that you can do to help your body have within itself the capacity to be moist, not just wet. It's different.
If you're on internet, I need you to get off of everything except for the TV.
Why are you yelling at us, Gary?
He thought he was on mute.
His mic is muted, but we can still hear him.
Oh, my bad.
Hey, listen.
Hey, in the back, listen. I'm on the intranet now.
Everything here run on the internet, so you'd be like, "Hey, listen, it's my time, goddamn it."
Turn off everything. Turn the lights off. Right there. Who got the door open? Close the door. You letting the internet out. No, I was just kidding. Dino came out the room like, oh, let me close the door.
You letting the internet out, bruh. Don't let the internet out.
Y'all are foolish.
Hey, that's some old stuff right there, bro.
Yeah. But no, you're right though, Donnie, about the nutrition and everything. All I'm saying is that I'm in a relationship and you're not okay. I'll give you a moment.
I'm sorry. Every now and then somebody they hit one, man. That was it, Mike. You letting the internet out.
Oh, fuck. Okay, I'm sorry.
That was good, man.
I'm good. Okay, I'm back.
Carry on, brother.
Nah, Yo, all I was attempting to say was that if I'm in a relationship and we are sexually active,
y'all just letting the internet run wild out here.
See, here it goes.
Oh.
Golly.
God. Okay. I can't get my pictures to load. Close the door. Oh God.
Okay, I'm sorry.
Oh man. You got to restart the whole show, man. Oh, this is my favorite part already, man. Oh, dog. If I don't come on the show for nothing else, man.
Oh my
this
God,
part.
I'm sorry.
Ooh,
Oh, shit, it's hot.
yes.
Okay.
All I was attempting to say was, if I'm in a relationship, if I'm in a relationship and we're Donnie, get it together. You are immature right now.
If I'm in a relationship, she ain't got high speed internet. I'm gonna tell you right now. Oh my God. How does this tie into relationships, man? Fiber optics get me moist.
No, I was listen, I was talking about your comment about nutrition and moisture. So what I was saying was, if I'm in a relationship and we're sexually active and she can't produce those juices, as you call them, then I'm gonna need a doctor's note saying that it's not me, it's her nutrition. I need to see a full doctor's note with it written out. It's not you, Mike. You've done all you can do. She's the problem.
It's not you. Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
Because how does that what does that do for you as a man, thinking that it may be you and it's not?
Whatever this thing Carrie got, maybe that's what she needs, is hookah that thing up in there and just figure out what the issue is. I don't think I would take it personal, honestly. I haven't experienced that, but I don't think I would take it personal. I mean, that's a personal problem. For y'all just joining into the show,
go ahead. You have to kind of just step outside of yourself though, and think about the what ifs, because you may run into that, and it may not be your fault.
So let me tell you,
watching who has been there.
You know me, somebody been text me and said, "Well, this was one time." So you guys know I had a cool stint where I was abstinent, which I am abstinent again. And so it's just like I really lost touch with a lot of
a stint, nigga. Were you in prison? You had a stint.
10 years is a stint, brother. It was a stint. 10 years is a stint, brother.
Yeah, in prison, your loins. I get it.
I did. Well, I mean, like I tell people, like, yeah, I didn't have sex for 10 years, but it wasn't pure. So, found my way to do a lot of other things. But, my point is that, there are a lot of things I just kind of forgot. And I remember talking to my mentor about it. Like, man,
it's a long time, bro. 10 years is a long time. It was a damn moment. Because in my head, I was like, damn. Shit. Is my brother okay?
Jesus Christ!
I still don't know if I am, bro. I'm telling you, that was some serious wiring, bro. It take 21 days to form a habit. Jesus. So it was, man. Actually, I had a conversation with a sex therapist. Yeah, I had to have some conversations, talk through some things, because in order to, if you're gonna still be in environments where you're still being tempted, and you continue to say no, like you're making your mind believe something about intercourse that may not be healthy, and now all of a sudden you want to get married, and you like, well, for 10 years your biology is saying, you said no, this was not what we were gonna do, and all of a sudden now you want to do it. Yeah, man, I get to have some conversations.
Make sure that thing was still thinking.
Yeah, I mean, look down him. You're like, oh, now you
want to talk to me.
Right. You've been neglecting me for 10 years. Now you need me.
Yeah. Anyway, but go ahead, fellas.
Listen, Kerry, they want to know if you're okay.
I'm good now, man. Listen, asthma is real. And I ain't had a laugh like that in a month of Sundays. Listen. That's that old Baptist. Anyway, for what?
We were playing a game on Thanksgiving, culture tags.
And that was one of the things to guess. And I had to give it to an older person. I said, what is a month of Sundays? They said, well, it's a month. It's 4 weeks.
Yeah,
I'm like, then
a month of Sundays. You got 4 of them in it. A month of Sundays is 4 weeks. Yeah, that's what it is.
me, my nephew, my sister, and my mom, they knew. We were lost. Hey, by speaking about that, I had to pass another one to my nephew. What's a bayang?
A bayang. That's what you got right now. A bayang.
Damn.
It's the bang.
Damn.
The bayang. It's the bayang for me. it's the bayang.
That's wow.
Yeah, that was it.
Wow.
That was it. Yep.
The bayang. All right. Anyway, so look.
Wow.
Back to the question. Pull it. Can you pull it back up, please?
We still on it? Oh,
I'm ready to move. I'm ready to move.
Okay.
I'm ready to move.
Move on to the next one.
Gee.
What did Portia say? That happened to a married couple I know who abstained a year before the wedding. They had to get counseling to have the desire again.
wow. So what it, because I know a lot of people have that same mentality. Like, I don't want to just be abstinent or abstain until I get married, and then I get married and the sex is terrible because, you know, biblically speaking, we're supposed to abstain until marriage. So what do you guys think about that? Like, especially Donnie, with you experience kind of, you know,
carries out. I could tell you what I learned by talking to the sex therapist. You got to remember, like, you know, that what you just said was a fear. Fear impacts you on a biological level because fear is an emotion, right? And so you're telling your body, you're telling your body, like, yo, there's a threat here. And so when the body feels threatened, there's certain, you know, organs and certain movements that the body restricts from doing to preserve itself. And so really it's the fear. And if you've been saying toxic things to yourself to get you to not do anything, even if it's not just abstaining from sex, whatever it is, like sometimes we pick up these very toxic traits in our jobs. To, like, for instance, one of my friends was a correctional officer, and so he had to continue to condition themselves to approach altercations a certain way with this certain authority. You can't just, after you learn that trait so much, you can't just turn it off in relationships. You can't just turn it off with your kids. You can't just turn it off when you go home. You know what I'm saying to you? So we have to understand whatever you're doing repetitively in your life, you're creating this pattern, this wiring within yourself. And, you know, like the sex therapist said, you have to find a healthy way to remind yourself that it's good, but you are waiting for an appointed time. And a lot of times we have the conversation, like a lot of churches don't convey it that way. It's bad. It's bad. It's bad. It's bad. It's bad. It's bad. And like, if you really catch on to that avenue in order to, if you're choosing that kind of fear to refrain from having sex, then it might have some adverse effects on you, you know, in the long run. So
let me flip this because this is a real honest show. Have either one of you gentlemen ever ran into a situation where your thing wasn't thinging?
100%.
Yeah.
How did you approach that?
With apologies.
Jesus,
I'm sorry.
I'm sorry.
Do this.
I'm gonna be honest.
What's wrong with the little?
Huh? I had that issue once, and that's when I realized that I had to have a connection. I thought just because, you know what I'm saying, I was in that attractive, you know, in that attraction mode, that, you know what I'm saying, I was finna knock her walls down. And he was like, "Oh, that's cool, you can go, but I'm
gonna stay
right here."
That brother sent a memo to your tongue, like, I ain't doing it.
Like,
I ain't doing it.
You can do what you want, bro. But
1, 2, 3, not it.
But at that point, that's when I realized, like, yo, like, I don't. That's my fear. Like, I don't want to be in a situation where I got to explain my dick. You know what I mean? So my dog died. Jesus.
Hey, can we ask that? What are some things, ladies and gentlemen, that you've heard for situations
when it
like that? Like, either
when the thing wasn't thinging.
Yeah, when your thing wasn't thinging. What are some things that you said or fake? Hello.
Including women. If your thing, you know what I'm saying, is a little on a dry factor, is it always him or is it you? Like,
and after we get some of these comments, I want to jump into a video that I think is perfect for what we're talking about.
I was about to.
You got this show on speaker right now. You might yeah.
Yeah, not necessarily a PG show tonight, but you know.
Just for now, you know,
It's just
clock back in at 9 o'clock when we get to our videos.
Right. All right. So while we're waiting for those, comments, I want to just kind of get in because we're mentioning a lot about connection and chemistry and these things. So I want to just kind of tap into this video.
Connection cannot be created, nor can it be destroyed. It's either there or it's not. Wow. There's nothing you can do to build connection. You can build a stronger bond. You can create a stronger attachment to each other, but that still doesn't mean connection is there. And you see this play out in situations where you have people who could meet each other right now, have this amazing connection. Something happens where they fall apart. They come back together years later, 10, 20 years later, and it's like they never stop talking. It just falls right back into place. It's connection. It's a deeper thing that's occurring there. To me, connection is your spirit recognizing its match. It is something that is happening beneath the surface, all right? Which is why many people who have felt connection, you can't always explain it. Connection does not always line up with the logic of compatibility. It's not always, oh, well, it makes sense because of this. No. It's just there. You just feel something with this person. You feel drawn to them. It's so much deeper than anything you've ever felt. And consider this. You can be compatible with tons of people. You can have chemistry with tons of people. You do not feel connection with a bunch of people.
Yikes.
Yeah, that was, I just watched that full video. I had only saw the little beginning part of it, but wow.
Bro, that's actual factual right there.
I'm gonna have to, Donnie.
Yeah, I was reading this. I'm sorry. Oh no, where'd it go? Yeah. Oh, I came quick because your thighs are thick.
Good God from Zion.
All right. So the video.
My head is elsewhere. Is it?
Well, it needs to be over here if you're not gonna perform, sir.
Well, as long as the brother ain't saying I came before I came, you are.
Well, she said I came already. I was lying.
I was lying.
I drank too much.
Whiskey.
I was lying.
Not whiskey, dick.
Somebody asked if we could define connection though before we move forward.
Yeah, let's. What are y'all thoughts on the video while we pulling this up?
Oh, the Carrie froze. Oh,
I'm back now.
Okay. My thoughts on the video was I think it's worth. Well, the first thing that came to mind is what if you have more than one match? Because you guys know I've shared with you on the show that recently I got a chance to reconnect with my first love from high school. And one thing she did say when we saw each other is like, man, like we just picked up where we left off. It was like healing, which I agreed with. Now, he said that in the video, like, you know, that's just your match. And my question, which people posed to me before, is it possible to have multiple matches? Because I've felt that way and had that kind of connection with multiple people. And so it makes me think. What you got, Mike? You got the definition?
No, I was just gonna say in the video, he did say that he said you're not just gonna have a connection with a whole bunch of people. He didn't say you would just have one connection with one person. He said you won't find a connection with a whole bunch of people.
Well, let me tell you what I found. Carrie, don't you start, bro. Don't start. Don't start. Carrie, internet froze. He got the doors open at his house.
Y'all close goddamn door. Let the internet out. Okay, I'm back. I'm back.
I feel like my experience has been like I have some really deep connections with people. Now, here's my distinction. Maybe your connections are the purpose of the connections. What the connections are supposed to fulfill is different. But I do, man. I have these connections with some people. We can just immediately pick up where we left off. It's like nothing has changed. And it's deep, man. I think it's beyond logic. Again, like it's soul. You know what I'm saying? Like, you know, some people believe like, you know, in another lifetime, like I knew you and we had, you know, relationship. Don't know what level. Maybe you was my mother or, you know, or a cousin or something. You were dear to me. And I just, you know, it carried over if you believe in that, you know, reincarnation and another life type stuff, or maybe in another dimension, you know, it's all different kind of things, man. I know that I can't explain, but I know that those feelings be real. And I think the most challenging thing for me is to find out, what do you do with it? When you do find that you have that connection with that person, do you immediately marry them? Is that a person that you need to like keep around, or are they reappearing in your life because it's appropriate for a season again? And that's just when they make their interests. You guys need each other in this moment for whatever it is. Yeah, that's my thoughts.
I feel similar with that. I do feel that you can have a connection with different people at different times. They serve different purposes. I feel like when you are in a certain space in life and you're in a certain realm, you know, there are certain people that are going to be in that space with you. And the part where you were talking about, you know, having the connection with someone and then, you know, goes away, or you guys separate, or you go somewhere else and then that person comes back in, their purpose is back for that season. You know what I'm saying? And just because you guys haven't had that, you didn't share that space anymore, doesn't mean the connection is gone.
True story. And it makes me think about like being really aware of when you do reconnect with this person, what happens to you. Look at your life. You know, are you flourishing more mentally, emotionally? Like, do you feel more stable? Because maybe it is like a refueling station, because you guys are going to have to part ways again. And maybe that's just, you know, God just allowing you to have this incredible connection, just experience it for a little bit before you head off on your next assignment. I don't know.
And that's definitely what I was saying in that aspect, because overall we are going to all separate, you know, in life in general. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. You're going to leave this earth. So every connection is still in the realm of this earth, this dimension that we're in at this point. You know what I'm saying? So when people be like, oh no, you can't have a connection with more than one person, that's a complete lie. Now, how you choose to live your life and what you choose to do with this connection, that's different. You know what I'm saying? That's defined upon different things. But the level of connection, or I'll always have a connection with Kiana, no matter what happens. You know what I'm saying? I tell people all the time, like, that's my friend. You know what I'm saying? We grew up together. We learned some things in life. We shared something outside of having a child or being married. You know what I'm saying? So in that aspect, that's where that was. But what she's sharing with the connection that she has with Johnny is that, you know what I'm saying? That's a whole nother connection with somebody else for a different step. I mean, a different stage of life.
Are we saying that this is specific to like the opposite sex only?
No. Period. In general, there are connections that immediately when me and Mike first became friends, we didn't realize we had been around each other for years. You know what I'm saying? I know you can't understand that because that's like a 6 foot tall kind of. Anyway,
I'm cool. Whatever kind of romance it is, man, just do what you do.
I'm just saying, you know, he couldn't see the vision; it was too tall. You see, and y'all relation, I couldn't see the vision because I'm too bald. See how that goes?
I can't stand either one of you.
Take a seat.
No, but
go ahead.
I hate it. But I do believe that, you know, you have these connections with people. It's not just any type of it doesn't matter what sex it is. I think that you just have these connections for seasons of where you are.
So I'm glad that you mentioned that piece about how you deal with these connections is pretty much dependent on where you are in life, because what happens when you're married and then you meet someone and you guys have this connection? Don't know, and it may not be a physical thing, it may not be a romantic type of thing, but there is this connection. What do you guys suggest in a situation? Right now I'm talking about opposite sex. What do you guys suggest in that type of situation? You're married, or even in a serious relationship. And
call and tell her you ain't coming home.
hey, tell your mom I'm not coming home. You guys take care, okay?
Look, I found what I was looking for. Now, hell, you just gotta understand.
I'm going to the gas
station. Your vows.
Cigarettes.
Wow. And I'm never coming back.
Fresh out.
Again. I'll be back on February 31st.
Brother, tell her, like, it's like you put that in your vows, like, till death do us part, or I find what I was actually looking for.
Jesus of Nazareth.
This is what some people mean and feel, but they just don't say, and that's why people are upset, because you didn't say what you meant, and now you're trying to break.
Hey, when you say that in your vows, the pastor gonna be like,
respect. You don't say that in your vows. You say that in the engagement. Like, so give the person a chance to be like, brother, what's going on? Like, or sister, she might, man, I know some people who just took what they took because they was waiting for something else to show up.
so like this one.
That's a hell of a connection. That's a hell of a connection.
Till the edges showed up.
She connected them edges to her forehead.
Jesus. Okay, next.
No, but really about that relationship piece, is that something you feel like you like? Let's talk about for us, since we're men. Is that something you feel that men shouldn't even try to figure out why this connection is here because I am married or because I am in a relationship? And I'm not talking about somebody from your past that just came back. I'm talking about you're out, maybe even at a business meeting. You work with this woman, and it's never been romantic. It's never been flirty or anything like that. But you realize there is some kind of connection somehow.
Boundaries.
Is that something you should probably? What do you guys think?
Gary said boundaries. I am saying, for me, I would love to be in a situation where I can bring that exact information and those exact feelings back to my partner. Be like, yo, I don't know what's going on. I ain't felt this way about nobody but you. But today, something happened. And like, I want to be able to go to my partner. No, not something happened. Like, I didn't make a move, but I'm expressing my feelings. Like, I couldn't help myself. So meet Lisa. And
she's joining the family.
Listen, if you feel the way you feel about me and I feel the way about her, then you should feel that way about her too. And
just don't let the internet out.
Just don't.
Whatever you do,
don't whatever you do.
Close your windows and your doors.
I had a conversation with my mentor in my singleness, with just tell them how I felt about a few different people. And I'm like, so how do you choose? And you don't use that to choose. And hopefully we got some videos coming up later that kind of touch on that. But you don't use chemistry to choose. My mentor was telling me you don't use connection to choose. He said you use prayer. You go to God and get that guidance, because if you're trying to figure out what this connection is for, then you got to go back to the originator who created it and say, yo, what was this for before I take it and pervert it? Because this lady told me once, if you don't know the purpose of a thing, you're destined to misuse it. And so you need to find out, what was the initial purpose for this thing coming into my life, and you got to ask the one who sent it, or ask who sent you.
Right. And with that communication, because I know a lot of people, a lot of us are always, I want 100% communication, no matter what it is. You got to be ready for what your partner tells you. You can't fly off the handle. You can't automatically think the man or woman was cheating at work, and sit there and listen to whatever it is your partner has to say and really try to understand where they're coming from, because it takes a lot. People don't realize it as much as it may have hurt to hear what your partner told you, it took a lot for that person to say that. And when they feel like they can't come to you and the space is not safe anymore, that's when the behind the back stuff starts happening. That's when the person shuts down and don't want to talk no more. And then you wonder why. Well, it's because the way you received the information that was that the person was trying to get across.
Accountability. Go ahead.
Wow, that's good. That's good too. I was going to say, I just had this conversation. So there's a young lady I like, but then there's another young lady that I'm more honest with. And I told the lady I liked, I was like, I want to be more honest with you, but there's like other people that I really feel like I can share vulnerably with them. And it's not like, oh, I feel like I can't share with you. I can share, but I don't want to deal with what I've seen happen, the few times I have shared. I don't want to deal with the aftermath of the sharing.
Now, are we talking about emotions? Is that the aftermath? You mean emotions?
I'm not gonna go into too many details about what the aftermath is, but that's a part of it. But my point for this part is that I was sharing that because in my mind, I'm like, and I told my therapist that I don't want to be open and vulnerable like here on the show and with other people, but then can't have that in my relationship. Now, me and the young lady aren't in a relationship. I like her. I'm, trying to figure out what, I'm praying about what do you do with that? Talking to my mentors and my people, like, what do you do with that? What do I do with that? But in the same time, in the meantime, the advice and the guidance has been the same. Be honest, be upfront, and don't lie to yourself. Don't lie to anybody else around you. And it's just something wonderful comes about when you feel like you can and not that feel part. When you not feel, but when you are honest and is met in a certain way, it's met with a certain respect and it's met in a certain environment, that makes you want to keep coming back there.
Yep.
I think sometimes when we talk about accountability, sometimes the people that the person that people are not honest with are themselves. You know, you could say something to your partner, but then you have to be honest with yourself and go, how would I receive that? How would I take that in if somebody said that to me? If my partner said that same thing to me, if my partner felt that way about somebody else, how would I receive it? You have to be conscious of how you say it. You have to be conscious of what you're saying. Even in being honest, this is your partner. And if this is your partner, you have to make sure that this space is sacred and it's safe. It's safe for, we'll get to you. It's safe for this conversation. You can be honest without being harsh. Oh, delivery matters. Go ahead. What were you saying, Donnie?
And so I put the devil's advocate up there because that's pretty much what I've been hearing from people, like, you know, delivery. And so my devil's advocate is something that I've seen myself and other people struggle with. When you're venting and really just trying to get something off, it's unfiltered. It's not like you're trying to choose which representative in your mind that you want to say this. And I think that's a component, a human part of us, that we're not always like, okay, well, let me choose the right person. I just want to get this off my chest. Like, I'm in a safe place. I just want to talk. I want to get it out, you know? And I think that sometimes like that is where I've struggled with, and I've seen other people struggle, like, well, check the delivery. And I'm like, I'm just trying to dump, but I understand I check delivery. Okay, let me try to do both. And what you got, Mike? I see you.
No, I'm in agreement with you, because even with the therapy that I'm going through now, it's just teaching me how to just speak my truth. And I just an example that made me think about when you were just saying what you were saying is just on Sunday, Carrie had hit me up like, "What you doing?" "I'm at the gym." "Oh, you don't want to call me and let me know?" "No, I didn't. I felt like working out by myself. I had things I needed to work out in my head. I don't want to talk to nobody." No shot against Kerry, and I know he didn't take it no kind of way, because he right, exactly. But the point is, I feel like those are the type of relationships you need when somebody is not gonna, because he could have easily been like, "Oh, that's fucked up. We've been trying to get together and go to the gym, and now you at the gym and you're not trying to hit your boy." That could have easily went that route, but because the type of relationship me and him have, it was like, all right, just hit me up afterwards. To me, in relationships, that's the freedom, the type of freedom you need to just be able to boom. No, I don't feel like doing that right now. And
but you also have to be, you got to be conscious of the fact that we are men. And in the relationship between a man and a woman, you saying that is still some type of can be taken a little offensive. Although it's human, it can be taken a little offensive. And so all I'm saying is when you're angry in certain situations.
Listen, how do we block Candace? How do we get that?
Nah, don't block her. Whose friend is that? Whose friend is this, man? Whose man is that?
I don't know. It might be Dubs.
I like her profile picture though, so we're gonna keep her. We're not kicking her off. Keep going.
Listen, no, I'm just saying in regards to, you know, when Donnie was saying earlier, like he just, you know, sometimes you just want to express yourself and you want to get that off. I think that the aftermath of things is something that has to be forefront, because I really feel like, and again, this is why I love this show, because everybody has a different opinion, but I feel like you can be conscious of what, and I'm saying this because that the people used to tell Donnie all the time, your brother has no filter. Your brother is a loose cannon. Your brother is, and don't get me wrong, but I wasn't conscious of the fact that I could get what I want to relay off without it being hurtful, without it being harsh.
And so what I'm hearing is, I'm agreeing with you 100%. I think that we're talking about a pattern. Like when that seems to be the only person's way to communicate is blah, 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 it's just, you know, mouth vomit. Yeah. You know, I'm talking about these moments where you just
what like, is it, Donnie?
Blah, 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 Tasmanian devil. You know,
you called it mouth vomit. Mouth vomit is what he called.
Yeah.
Donnie trying to show his tongue work on the screen.
Listen, he done it about 4 times. I was about to hit him in the gang like, yo, man, hey, stop. This
it was a few years. That's all I had going.
This is the Lord's work. This is the Lord's work.
Yeah.
You said so sad, huh?
Wow. Yes, it
is. Listen. Yes. Nah, but I think that again, it's not saying it's a. I think when it's a pattern, then it might be what Michael considered is not a bright orange flag. It's a red flag. I think no. Why? No. Where are these eyeballs coming from? These eyeballs.
Oh, they was coming from your.
No, that's Arrow Tung Sui, the red belt in Tung Sui.
Oh no! Oh no!
Ali. Wow. Okay. All right.
Listen, you set yourself up, brother.
I
did. Wow. I didn't know that the environment was that sensitive.
Listen. Well, that environment's kind of never mind. Okay, go ahead.
Wow.
Hey, they ain't the only ones that come quick. So my point is that a lot of times.
Oh shit.
So date with Donnie. Date with Donnie seems very apropos tonight.
Going off.
Wow! Why you just brother?
I hit the wrong one. It said compatible with a demon.
No, hey, I want to play that one. No, I want to play that one though, man. Real talk. Hey, real talk. I want to play that one. But what I was saying for Carrie's thing is that as long as it's not a pattern, like the person just has no other way to communicate, I feel like that can become an issue. But there are times I think we need to hold space for our friends, our relatives, maybe even people at our work, just to just get it out there. My therapist even offered, I told him sometimes I can get a little violent when I talk about certain things. He's like, cool, man, just don't punch me, but it's a safe place to do it. He said you can sit on the floor and hug a pillow and just, say whatever you need to say. And I think that kind of invitation, man, just makes you want to be more open and vulnerable. And if you're struggling with your partner, not want to be open and vulnerable with you, check out the environment. We say this on the show all the time. Nothing can exist without an environment for it to exist in. People aren't just out there sharing with everybody but you because they don't like you. Sometimes it's the environment is just not conducive for that person to open up and be vulnerable. One of my friends hit me the other day. They was like, I'm going through stuff with my grandma, and they hit me up and they was like, man, that just raised my anxiety. I was like, we ain't doing that. I can't hear anxiety. We believe in God to be true to his faithfulness. That's it. And she was like, dang, like, you kind of came hard. I was like, well, I was trying to give you access to a tender place, and I think people don't understand the more access you give them, the more impact you can have on them. That's why strangers can't break your heart, because they out here. It's the people closest to you. And so that's why I just say like, man, being able to hold that space with somebody can be extremely beneficial for any relationship.
Be honest with yourself. Be honest with yourself. Be honest with yourself. Know what you can handle. Know the conversations that you're getting yourself into, because a lot of times, and this is something that we kind of tapped into earlier, a lot of times women per se will say, you can tell me anything. You can come to me and talk to me about anything. And then when they come to you and talk to you about something that might not be something that you particularly like or want to hear, now we got to defend this conversation instead of indulging in what I was trying to talk to you about. So literally, like, if you're not at the state where you have the ability to say, yo, I can have this conversation, and what you're going to say to me, or what the possibility of the things that you may say to me may not be something that I like, I can still have this conversation with you about what you're talking to me about, not what I feel about what you're saying.
Yeah, that makes sense.
We can definitely get into that, but let's get across what I'm trying to talk to you about in the first place.
Right. One thing at a time.
100%. Like that.
Real quick, because we never got back to
the definition.
Yeah. Donnie,
a connection is a bond, a link, or a tie to something or someone. Interlock the two words emotional connection, and it becomes a bond or a tie to someone. I hate y'all. And I'm out.
What was so funny is nobody could see us what we were doing. All they could see is what was on the screen.
Come back and read, bro.
Come on, Morgan.
I don't want to.
We need you to read that.
I hate you. I hate you. I hate you. A connection is a bond, a link or a tie to something or someone. Interlock the two words, emotional connection, and it becomes a bond or tie to someone with whom you share a particular set of emotions. Without a strong emotional connection, it is doomed to frustrate one or both partners and ultimately fail.
Wow.
Yo, that immediately made me think about the connections we have, maybe certain people at our job, but how a lot of times connections are built on a mutual narrative. you guys you share this emotional attachment to this narrative you have about that boss or your job or whatnot. But what happens when you decide to change the narrative in your life? You're trying to self-develop, you're trying to be more positive and optimistic. Does that impact the connection you have with that person because it was kind of built on a belief you no longer hold?
100%. 100%. I mean, and it's just like you see friends that are in your life. Maybe you've known people for years. I'm talking, we went to preschool all the way up to college, and we were inseparable. But then you start trying to, for example, you start trying to better your life, but they still want to go out and do hood rat stuff with their friends, and so eventually the paths will start, separating and doing that. And it's no love lost. Like, I still love you, like you still my boy or you still my homegirl or whatnot, but we not or that.
The shitty part about that is when you feel like you missing something and y'all have done like this and your stupid ass start to go this way. You feel like you done missed something. I've done that so many times, and then when you get over here back to the path, you dumbass. And now you beating yourself up because of what you feel like you missed over here on your path.
Accountability, as you always say.
Listen,
that
Jack.
is good. That's a good word right there. So
Amber's not satisfied. She's not satisfied. Amber, can you give us a definition?
Right, because I feel like she has something that she has in mind for it.
Yeah, please share
the
definition you have. We'll hold space for you if you can find something.
This definition feels different than what the video is offering.
Uh-oh.
You motorboating son of a. You motorboating son of a.
Sorry.
Mike.
Boats and hoes. Gotta have me my boats and hoes.
Speaking of,
Santa Maria. Oh, yeah.
Listen, I'm right there with you. Did we just become best friends?
I hate you.
Yep.
I hate you. Put up the Cash App. What top?
That's not. I mean, listen, it depends on how much she can pull in. It depends on. See?
Smoking out the window.
So what we do here on the Maybe This Will Help the podcast, at the halftime mark, we like to just remind you guys a few things, some announcements coming up. We'd like for you to get in the chat bar. Tell us what's been your favorite part of the show so far. Most of you guys are probably going to say letting the internet out, close the door. But we also want to give you guys an opportunity to participate in what we're doing here. You guys know this podcast is built on just the hopes and dreams of Carrie and Mike to possibly help somebody with just open, vulnerable conversation. What, Mike?
Nothing. Proceed.
That wasn't the intention. And you gave me the rich white man laugh. Man. I hope it was meant to help somebody. I mean, unless it was Carrie closed it. He didn't froze his computer.
He didn't open the door.
He got open the door and let the internet out.
And he got vents in this house. It may have got out through one of the vents.
If y'all want to help Carrie get faster internet, you can go to our Cash App, and maybe this will help.
He was in and out.
If you like seeing Carrie on the show, but you hate his shoddy internet, you can go to our Cash App, and maybe this will help.
Damn, I hate you niggas.
If you tired of Carrie trying to run his internet through his Boost mobile phone, go to our Cash App, and maybe this.
Wow. Listen.
Hey, no, we appreciate you guys. A lot of people have been donating, not just gift cards to their services or got connection services, but actually donating money because you guys know it takes money to have these platforms up.
Listen, appreciative is like an understatement. We were all blown away when we opened our Cash App. Like, thank you so much. And that means more than you guys know. More than you guys know, man. It not only because it's monetary and it'll help us further the show, but because nobody will be donating anything if they actually weren't being helped. You know what I mean? That's the basis of the show. So if you guys are willing to take some of your hard-earned money and say, here's $5, here's $25, here's $100, which we've seen like that lets us know that we're doing what God essentially wants us to do here.
I feel like they're trying to bribe us for you to sing and for Donnie to dance. I don't know.
Damn, Donnie, listen. Easy work for him.
Singles. Instant singles.
His face changed. His hair got a little slicker. Sheesh.
I ain't taking singles. Tell you right now. Pay me in crypto, cuz.
God.
We got a whole nother half a show to go, fellas. We got any businesses we're promoting tonight? Any businesses?
I got
clearly the right track.
Right, clearly.
The right track. What'd you say?
Hobart, huh? Florence? Go ahead.
Oh, I drove by there the other day, man. I was showing my homegirl where I got shot at. No fun. Okay.
Listen, if you guys want to drop your businesses in the chat, please feel free to do so. This is the time to do it. Mystery box sale, 6 items for $75.
I get fired every week.
Only Lace.
I got you, Sheila. No worries.
Right. Talk to me and Carrie about this because Donnie, he don't got your back the way he's supposed to have your back. Clearly, Jesus.
And he's out.
Perfect. Anyway,
perfect.
Please, you guys.
Hey, man, I should put the video up. Sorry, go ahead.
If you guys are not already following us, please do so. Maybe this will help the podcast. Instagram, Facebook, also YouTube. Follow, like, share. Actually, I saw a lot of shares today. We appreciate that. And what I did notice, and I kind of don't want the stigma that's going with the show. The show is not just for women, fellas. Fellas, please let some of your boys know it's not just for ladies. It's for men as well. Everybody can be helped. We have episodes here about raising kids. It's not always for kids to listen to, for sure, but definitely anybody can be helped. Any age could help. Any gender could help. Like, just let somebody know, man. What you got, Donnie?
What's that?
Aspercream. Aspinomanco. I think it's a woman's retreat. What is it?
Nope. Can you explain to us what that is, Amber? Thanks. He said I hate. Whenever Donnie got the swoop out, it's always a problem.
It's gonna be shenanigans off top.
Oh, it's closed off top. Okay.
Closed. Okay.
Shoot, hey, you ever take your mask off? You ever take your mask off and be like, "Yes, I am as beautiful as I look under."
Yes.
Yes.
I promote my business. I'm a life coach. We ain't running no sales for Black Friday, but yeah, I can help.
Wow, that's how I feel like that's how you introduced it though. Like, this is my business, and we ain't running no damn sales either.
No, we getting to the point, man. You can't put on sale what I do, man. No,
I heard that. That's a fact. That's a fact. What about you? Don't you got some books or some literature? Yeah,
they can go to donovand.nl.com. You can get Before the I Do. You can get Evolving Entrepreneur. You can book your life coaching services. You can get Carrie something to clear his throat. I mean, there's a lot of things on there.
Actually, can I get a bottle of that?
This brother went back. Wow. I remember that episode. Carrie, were you here for the episode?
I was not here for that episode. So.
Wow. Get you a tube of Veggie Fresh.
Wow.
Fuck.
Wow.
I didn't say fuck. I did not say fuck. I said
I did. I said
DTF. What is this? I love sales. Look, okay.
On Veggie Fresh.
Buy two,
get one.
DTF, please tell me you don't need to buy one, get one by yourself.
She's trying not to disappoint.
Not the Costco size. Okay, anyway.
Oh shit. Okay. Video.
It's video time. I'll run a special after it's over. You can buy two, get the third one for the same price. All right, here we go.
Going off of compatibility just by itself can be a trap. Because first off, you can be compatible with a demon. Like, devils know what you like too. The type of women that you like, you want her to have more curves in the highway. The type of man that you like, you want him tall with broad shoulders and a beard. The enemy could send you pain, gift wrapped as your preference. So that's just the first thing about how compatibility can be a trap. The second thing is compatibility is season based. It is possible for you to be compatible with the season of their struggle, but not the season of their success. I want somebody who's going to be there for me if I hit rock bottom. Well, what if they can only handle your rock bottom, but they can't handle your upward season? So now the question becomes, are we really compatible, or do we just share similar dysfunction? We're both broken in the same area. We're both wounded over the same things. We have the same feelings over the same wounds, so we end up sharing hearts. But what happens if one of you heals and the other one doesn't? Because just because you heal doesn't mean that they're going to heal. And just because you heal doesn't mean that you can make them heal. What happens if one of you heal? You will remove what y'all had in common. And I want us to be so whole and so secure that when we heal, we don't end up feeling guilty because they're crawling, but we now have wings. It's not just about compatibility. It's about suitability. Does this individual suit my assignment well? Do they complement what it is that God has me doing in earth while I'm here in time? When a man or a woman has found that, that's a blessing. Because when God gives a blessing, you're not going to have to exchange your mental health as payment to keep it. So maybe you're so exhausted because you're breastfeeding toxicity in order to maintain an image of being happy over the very thing that you told everybody was a blessing.
Yeah, that's it. I actually learned about that. I think we talked about it a few episodes ago. It's called trauma bonding. You're bonding with this person based on trauma. Like, oh, I was hurt, man. I was hurt too. Let's console each other, and then in that consultation, we'll start to grow closer, and then really, it sucks to say, really form these false emotions based on the trauma we were in, and then, you know, eventually all of that fades because, like he said, what if the other person, they're actually trying to work on their trauma? They're going to counseling, they're going to therapy, they're doing the work it takes to get over it, and you're still stuck on, you know, just being stuck in your trauma. Eventually,
and you're still pointing
go ahead.
fingers. I'm sorry. I did. You know, this hit home for me. Donnie watched me 4 years struggle with something that I was trying to make myself and everybody else believe that this is where I wanted to be. This is what I wanted to be in. And it was toxic as fuck. And it's because I was toxic at one point. And I felt like we both came together in a toxic stance because we were so stuck in our own ways and stuck in our own desires that it helped. You know what I'm saying? It was helping each other.
Of course, yes.
Jesus, bro.
Like, Donnie, really, it feels like you guys are helping each other. When what you're actually doing is saying it's okay.
You're hindering
here in this trauma. Let's just
aiding and abetting.
Comfortable. Aiding and abetting. Golly, jeez.
Yeah.
Shit.
Because it's all based on a false sense of relationship and a false sense of false sense of relationship. Because what we're feeling, if you were completely healed, you would have never looked at me. As broken as I was, you would have never looked at me. But you did because you were broken. It's just as broken as I was. So now you feel like, oh, I found the one because we're so similar. But you're similar in trauma. Who wants that?
So here's
you were worse than me. I was just gonna say, or you were worse than me, and you felt like if you point out my shit, you don't have to take fucking accountability. Got to be more careful. Okay, go ahead, Donnie. I'm sorry. Mute.
No, it's all good, man. I'll let y'all vent. I was holding space. That's one of the examples of when person feels something, like hold space for them. Don't really critique their delivery at that moment. They what they're sharing is healing in the moment. It's not a time to say, man, you could have delivered that different. You know? But my clinical response to that, being a person that suffered from trauma, oftentimes you do not know that you're trauma bonding. You think this is legitimate, God sent Goes back to Carrie's word, accountability, and it goes back to our last topic we were just talking about. When you feel a connection to somebody, talk to your mentor. Get with your people and say, man, this is what I'm feeling about this person. Somebody who may not have that same bond may be able to point you in a direction like, oh, okay, well, maybe y'all need to partner in the support group and go together, or before you think this is, love at first sight, because oftentimes that's what we do. We feel like any connection must be love. It must be the one. It must be, divinely ordained for us to like partner in something romantic. And that's the part we, you have to be careful with. That's why I said it earlier, man. Chemistry does not mean you guys need to make love and make babies.
That's a fact. That's a 100% fact.
I've been through it, and even right now, that's why I'm very careful. Like, even though I'm out of my relationship, I like this young lady and stuff. I'm just like, I'm just doing what my therapist is telling me to do, and I'm just in my lane, on my path, because I've been made aware of my patterns.
Yeah.
And if I don't address them and make some significant shifts in my beliefs, I'm destined to continue to repeat them with different faces, and so it's healthy, man. It's healthy.
Let me ask you this, and I know me and you have discussed this even recently, so I kind of know what you're going to say. But is there a point where being careful, you can be too careful and end up missing something? Like, you know what I mean? I want to be careful. I don't want to make the wrong move. I don't want to make the wrong mistake. Sometimes people back themselves in a corner because they want to be so careful that they end up single for all their life because they're too scared or too afraid or too careful to really step out. Because like we always say, love is a risk. Yeah.
I'll say this. I do believe there's a lot of fear in that approach, which I've exercised before. I do believe that, man, you sometimes don't know what you missed out on. We don't know. We say, oh, this might have turned out like, we don't know. We honestly, like, legitimately don't know what we missed out on in different situations. There's a difference between hesitation and patience. One causes you to miss the bullet, to dodge the bullet. The other one causes you to miss the blessing. And that's something, again, that's learned in your relationship with God. The Holy Spirit is present to provoke you in different moments to move on something by faith, not by logic, not by facts, not by data. And I've seen myself be so engulfed in a person that it takes away from my meditation time, takes away from my relationship with God, takes away from my relationship with my brothers and my close friends. And so I'm left with nothing but emotions and data and saying, I'm going to base my decisions off of this. Yeah. And that's just not solid enough to be, using this lifetime to invest.
Yeah. It's true. It is true.
Yeah, don't ask me shit. I'm done.
No, that was one of those that man, that one definitely brought some stuff home, man.
You came in to this relationship on the ladder, brother, but Donnie will tell you I was shit.
And yeah, me and Errol are different kind of brothers for Carrie. We all do different things. Me, I kind of like to, let people take their path, because if God saw fit to see this person go down this path and this person is not asking me to rescue them or anything, you keep an eye on them. But I'm really careful about trying to just keep people from doing things they're adamant about doing, because sometimes there's a lesson there that they can learn that will alter them for once and for all. Sometimes you rescue people and they ain't learn nothing, and I know that I've been there.
Right. Yeah.
But it's good. It's good to see you where you are today, bro.
Amen.
Amen.
But you know what? I will say that had I not gone through that, I would not have taken an entire year to find who Carrie really was, what Carrie needed, what Carrie desired, what Carrie had to offer. Because I hindered myself in growth. I hindered myself in accountability. There were so many different things that situation, I got into that immediately. Well, not immediately, but shortly after my mom passed. So, I was trying to find a place I felt like I had love that I needed to place somewhere. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And yeah, bro, shit. All right. Next one.
All right, you want to stay in the same vein, Mike? You got something?
Hell no.
All right, same vein. Here we go.
So how do you know you found the woman you're supposed to marry? When her presence forces you into the best version of yourself. It's when you realize being good to her is easy. The power of compatibility is how effortless everything becomes. You become naturally protective. You're almost excited to give provision. You naturally become that peacemaker on her behalf. And before you even get to that what are we conversation, you've already started cutting off those women. You find comfort in that focus. You find confidence and genuine peace in doing right by her. She listens to you. She respects you. She makes your presence feel desired. I mean, you actually feel the attraction coming from her. And she's created that emotional safe space for you. And whenever she comes into your environment, nothing changes. You don't have to tense up and filter yourself just because she's in the room. Most of all is when you say I love you and it doesn't mean you're mine. It truthfully means I'm yours. That's when you know you need to put a ring on her finger.
Oh,
it
my
was the
man.
last bar
Yeah,
for me.
my guy.
It
My
was
guy.
the last bar.
My God.
It doesn't mean you're mine. It means I'm yours. Yes. Come, listen. All right.
I almost wanted to run that back. Jesus, that was
One more time for the
solid.
people in the back, please. Please.
For real? All right.
Yeah, oh,
So how do you know you found the woman you're supposed to marry? When her presence forces you into the best version of yourself. It's when you realize being good to her is easy. The power of compatibility is how effortless everything becomes. You become naturally protective. You're almost excited to give provision. You naturally become that peacemaker on her behalf. And before you even get to that what are we conversation, you've already started cutting off those women. You find comfort in that focus. You find confidence and genuine peace in doing right by her. She listens to you. She respects you. She makes your presence feel desired. I mean, you actually feel the attraction coming from her. And she's created that emotional safe space for you. And whenever she comes into your environment, nothing changes. You don't have to tense up and filter yourself just because she's in the room. Most of all is when you say I love you and it doesn't mean you're mine. It truthfully means I'm yours. That's when you know you need to put a ring on her finger.
Do we need to? I mean, we can.
Oh yeah, I know we got to. I need to. I want to tell y'all what part stuck out the most for me, and this goes back to a conversation we had a few episodes ago about how you start to crave. You start to crave what you lacked in past relationships, and you don't know what you really lacked until you identify what you're now craving. And for me, when he those things he said, comfort in the focus and emotional safe place. Those two. Comfort in the focus and emotional safe place. I've just finished talking to you guys about just wanting to be able to open and be able to share. It's like one of my mentors told me that men want to go to where they're praised. And then somebody else told me where they feel safe. That's the one that nobody really wants to talk about. That emotional safe place you want me to be, but have you created a place for me to be? And this guy just told me 2 weeks ago. He said, in order to help people evolve, even in a relationship, you expose them, you educate them, and you protect them. And I think that's what needs to happen more protection. That's why I bring it up so many times on this show about, like, in my last relationship, my ex said I didn't protect her. I didn't make her feel safe. And it caused an issue there. Carrie.
It's not just one-sided, though. A woman has to make you feel safe too. And I think sometimes that's negated and it's neglected in relationships because we are the protectors. But in that isn't your, when they say behind every man is a good woman, is that not part of her job to protect as well? There's a space that she dwells in, that she lives in, and it is her job to protect that space. It is her job to protect that man from things that he may not see. My mama used to tell me all the time, I got eyes in the back of my head because I got to see everything. I got to make sure that I can cover certain things. And I feel like that's the relationship. We back to back. You know what I'm saying? You got that side, I got this side. And if something becomes too big, I swing you around and I'm back here fighting on this end because it was too much for you or you didn't see this coming. You know what I'm saying? And I just feel like sometimes we don't have that security. But when you find that security, oh, good God from Zion, when you find that security, that is when that's when it's not your mine. It's I'm yours. That for me, with the things that I've seen and the things that I've been through, that's a statement, a word, a phrase, a book all by itself.
And Yeah, no, I that you hit the nail on the head. That's exactly what I was thinking myself. And then not on top, and on top of that, not to kind of rain on the parade, but I'm seeing the comments go up about the women are excited as they should be. But what we have to also realize is he's talking about a specific kind of woman. He's not talking about just because you're a woman. Yeah, he's not talking. He's not saying because he's not saying because he's not saying because you have a vagina, then now I'm going to give you. I'm not going. Damn. He's talking about a specific,
one more time.
He's talking about a specific type of woman that is deserving of the things he's talking about.
Yeah.
Just because you know what I'm saying. You've been praying to God. Just because you go to work every day and you a boss this or a boss that. That's all great and dandy. But certain things have to fall into an alignment for a man to want to, do the things that this gentleman was talking about in the video. And I'm not saying it takes a lot for a woman to get there, but I'm just saying it's a specific woman, and it may not be you. And it may not be the man.
That's what he's offering.
I'm just saying, bro.
What I hear a lot though is that everybody is deserving. Everybody's deserving. You deserve this. You deserve that. And I hear that a lot in culture. And I think there's it's something there, but I think that you can't leave out develop yourself. You can't leave out bring work on you and Carrie.
Accountability.
4 words.
I need a shirt. Can you break that down for me on a shirt? Countability with a T at the bottom. Ability.
Right.
It's true. I mean, are we willing to tell people that, like, in real honesty with your friend, are you willing to tell your friend you don't deserve that? You don't deserve her. You don't deserve to be married. You don't deserve a lot of things. Are you willing to tell people you love that?
Yeah.
Maybe that's what we need to hear sometimes, just to get our house in order. Like, nah, you want this, you want that, but nah, you got to get yourself together.
So just to I just want to kind of respond to what DTF said right here. Not true. Everyone isn't prepared to receive what they desire, and I agree with that 100%. So based on what the video was saying, then, for instance, if I'm speaking from the woman's point of view, and she is that woman, then clearly that's not the man for you. He's not going to be the man that was speaking in the video. And on the flip side, the man in the video is not going to be speaking to a woman that is not ready to receive it. So that answers that question right there.
So Pookie, she just hit on one of my favorite quotes that I made up. And Pookie, you did that because you want me to say the quote, right? I know you said that because you want me to say the quote, so I'm gonna say the quote. True heartbreak is when what you desire desires you, but you're not prepared to give what you desire what it deserves. That part. You can want anything you want. Like we say all the time, if you did meet your dream come true, why would they want you? We can't negate, like Carrie says, the accountability, a part that we are taking radical responsibility for our behavior, our minds, our thought patterns, and the environments that we create. We have to get into we have to check ourselves with how much the culture is influencing how we do life. Some relationships aren't working out just because you watch that show every week. Some relationships aren't working out because you keep listening to that album over and over again. Sometimes it's just that
Summer
simple.
Walker. She fourth baby mama. That's your fault. Okay, anyway, go ahead. Oh, we not being honest on this show today?
We are.
No, we not doing.
That was a Selah. when we get to that place, we recognize that you have to consider. I did this thing with my boss, thing called emotional hygiene, and we talked about how regular hygiene, like you should floss your brush your teeth and all, because it impacts your relationship, breath and everything. But emotionally, like, what are you feeding yourself? What are you forcing your mind to digest? And still trying to be in relationship with somebody, still trying to do a healthy relationship. Sometimes you making it harder on yourself by what you keep feeding yourself, entertainment wise. And that's something that we have to check, man. It has more influence over us than sometimes we're willing to admit.
That's a fact.
Yeah, I was about to say, get Ty.
Ty. Oh,
she's a current R&B artist who she's like the new generation Mary J. She got to be hurt to have a good album. No, that wasn't it. I'm sorry.
Trauma bonding album.
Listen,
don't trauma bond with your favorite artist. Bruh, we can move the train. We can move the train. This is for kids.
So listen, I'm gonna tell you. I'm gonna be honest. Then we gonna move past this. So y'all know back when they first started coming out, when the Lace Fronts first started coming out, my issue was the Michael Jackson curls and the 1976 Backwoods of Mississippi screen door that the cat run out. They don't have to open it and it just run out that little piece.
I hate
the part that they be trying to put So now my issue is the 3-way part on this heart right here. It's like it'd be like this, and it'd be like this, and it'll be like this. It's just one little triangle right here. I hate it. And now they doing this thing where they dyeing it, and it's one color here, and it's black everything else, but it's just quit. Just shave that shit off. Look, just shave it off. Anyway, go ahead.
Wow. Okay. I was gonna take the show in a different direction, but if you felt you want to stay there, it's all good.
That's cool. I'm good. Listen.
All right, Mike.
Yes.
All right. Here we go. You got to be a little obsessed with me, or I'm gonna think you don't like me. For real.
What does that look like?
You just gonna have to think I don't like you. I can give you attention. I'm just saying I can give you attention. You know what I mean? I can give you compliments. I can do it, but obsession that's a bit much. That's a bit much.
Yeah. I want you to like me a lot.
Go ahead. So in order for me to like you, I gotta be obsessed. Not love, not marry, not husband, wife. To like you, I gotta be obsessed. You don't knock it off.
If Toxic had a baby, wow,
that's a fact.
It's a boy.
Had a baby, it's a boy. Dude, I think that this is really true, and I don't think a lot of people say it, but I've seen it carried out through body language. What you got, Mike? His brother caught a big one. What is it?
That one.
I'll tell you something about Ollie's. How about okay?
No, that's the first thing that popped into my head when I heard it. That low self-esteem piece.
I need you to be a little obsessed with me. Is there such thing as little obsessed?
If it is, I don't want to see big obsessed.
Jesus.
Golly, you seen that show You? That's big obsessed.
No, I haven't
seen the show
it.
You on Netflix. Oh God.
No, everybody probably shouldn't. Some people are not emotionally stable enough to watch those shows and still have a healthy relationship.
God is good.
To thy own self be true. I'm telling you, man, I coach people in relationships all the time, man. It's the little things. You listen to that album, turn it off. It's that coworker you always talk to because you guys meet up at the water fountain at the same time every day. Like, it's the little things that be destroying these relationships, man.
I don't know.
Facts. Actual factuals.
You ever wanted somebody to be obsessed over you though?
Okay, one time.
That question loaded like a bug.
Mike,
one time in band camp.
Hey, you saw Mike, his lips was trying to move. His brain like, nigga, don't you do it.
Don't you lie on this show.
Holla, 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 holla.
Yeah, but that was funny because That was
yeah, but that was, you know,
listen,
yeah.
that was mind games, Mike. That was mind games, Mike. That was Mike back in the day, mind games, Mike, where I needed that to be able to stroke my ego. Even if I had no intentions of dating you, no intention of liking you, I just needed to feel like you, you just had to have me. Cool. Next. And you just get left on.
How'd you get past it?
He didn't.
It happened to me. Honestly, it happened to me, and I was devastated for a very long time. And it was just like, oh, this is why these women hate me. Okay, got it. I can see it now. Yeah,
ain't nothing like your own medicine,
boy. It's a tough pill to swallow.
You sit back and you gotta watch it. You gotta watch it happen to you.
Right.
That's a whole movie.
Golly. When the student becomes the teacher.
Man, I think that statement is something I haven't shied away from in the past. Even that, like, you have to be a little obsessed with me. Like, even just the idea around it or the rephrasing of it, it's been something I used to try to live up to. And I recognize that I have to stop committing to things that I can't do consistently. I can fake the funk.
Explain that.
That was coming up, man. I can fake the funk for a little bit and do the what you would think obsessed would look like, the calls and the morning text, or the buying lunch, and like the things that you would identify in that category as just a little bit of healthy obsessed. But if that's not really truly who I am, then at some point I'm a break pattern. At some point, what, Carrie?
Did you say the morning sex?
Text.
Oh, I was like, I don't understand. Okay, go ahead.
Yeah, but I think that is sometimes what helps people feel secure, and I didn't see it as a red flag before. I saw it more as a challenge. I saw it more as that person wasn't loved properly, and that whatever they asked for, they're deserving of it. And I learned that was a toxic way I was thinking. I need to recognize, and I think my therapist helped me with that. He was like, just recently I was talking to him about a situation. He was like, man, keep an eye on that, because that's not healthy. That's not sustainable, and it's not healthy. You can't just think about, I can do this. You got to think also about, what is it going to cost me to do this? So, yeah. People hear what they want to hear, they crave what they've been lacking. So,
I was like, you got to be obsessed to have morning sex. I mean, I understand. I'm not big on morning sex.
Morning breath is a different conversation.
That's why I'm not big on morning sex, because morning breath.
Let me go ahead and take that down. I think he's about to get abused.
Hey, Carrie, since we're talking about like past trauma and past injury, man, can you unpack this one for us real quick?
You read it and I'll unpack it.
All right. I don't know who needs to hear this, but hyper independence is a result of trauma. I don't need anybody, and you must do everything. And I don't need anybody and must do everything myself really means my ability to trust has been injured by people systematically letting me down and failing me. You do need people. We all do.
Mike, go ahead. You had your hand up.
Oh, I was going to agree with that 100%. And I'm speaking from personal experience. Even before you guys, even before this whole show came along, I was hell bent on not needing nobody, not needing no friends. I literally had made myself believe I didn't need nobody in my life but denim. That's it. That's it. And it had gotten so bad, I had gotten comfortable with it. So when Carrie came along, it was the coldest pushback ever. And no matter what I tried internally, it just didn't work. That's how I knew it was a relationship that God had sent. You know
what didn't work?
Me trying to push away from inviting somebody new into my space.
He didn't want to be my friend.
Yeah,
he want to be a friend. Carrie was a little.
He didn't want
obsessed
to be my friend.
No, I didn't. And then time goes by, and Kerry has the idea to start the podcast, and then he's saying, hey, and this was a little bit after Sean. He's like, hey, I want to bring my brother on, and he'll be great. You'll like him. He'll be great for the show. In my head, I'm like, no, I don't. This is not. No, I don't want to do that either.
I'm gonna be honest with you. In my mind, I was gonna be for your life because I could see what you had been lacking and what you needed as far as male. I guess you can use the word companionship. You know what I mean? Like in that aspect of really having solid men in your life that didn't want to do anything, or didn't want to take nothing from you, but had something to actually offer. And for me, I realized that was probably one of the better routes to go in regards to that. And I don't share my brother. Like, people know I'm very stingy with who I invite, you know what I'm saying, as far as having a relationship with my brother, because it's something that's sacred, you know what I'm saying? But you being in the position that you were in, it was something that I knew, you know what I'm saying, I knew you needed. And everybody needs that in some shape, form, or fashion. Not that everybody needs solid people in their life, you know. What you say? We ain't gotta talk during morning sex.
Her and Portia having their own personal conversation in the chat bar while we were trying to bare our souls.
Listen, Jack. And I gotta get back to the damn question.
Yeah.
Oh Jesus! What? Listen, I don't know who needs to hear this.
But reverse cowgirls are sin.
Because I thought I heard Vicky post something. I saw Vicky post something about I don't need nobody. I saw it, Vicky. See, and you missing out on the word today, woman.
I think that part.
Go ahead.
Go ahead. Go ahead, Donnie.
Go ahead.
Everybody just go ahead.
Everybody got
Hey,
it.
I was at church today, right? And this girl, she was like, "What is happening?" I was at church and the girl doing announcements with her friend, and after the girl finished, she would always say like "so fun," and then she would go like into her part, and I liked it. I think that's a good little segue. So I was about to say it right now. So fun.
Don't say
cool.
that with your hair down, though.
So I was just thinking that. Did you say don't do it with my hair down, Mike?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yep. Sending mixed signals. Signals are mixed.
Gary got his door open again. His internet's down.
It's the back door. Paul.
Close the door. God dog it.
Okay. Anyway, so
the independent piece. So this made me think about how I've really been like, man, I love my life right now. You know, remember I was having a few weeks ago, like, man, do I even want to be married? The whole conversation, like, I really love my life. I love, you know, everything that's going on, and I have to continue to challenge that. Is that I love it because there's the manifestation of the promises that God has given me, or I'm just tired of the BS, and I think that all I'm gonna do is run into more BS. So I'm just like really, really content with where I am because it's not that stuff that I've been experiencing. And I have to ask myself, sometimes trauma masks itself, you know, and in contentment. You know, and so I'm just continuing to challenge that.
Yeah, for sure. You have to always challenge it. And then I don't want people to think that we're saying being independent is a problem. There's nothing wrong with being independent. There's nothing wrong with wanting to get out there and get things done and being a go-getter and all these things. There's nothing wrong with that. But when it becomes a problem is it when that independence becomes a form of denial. Like, your denial is now you're independent because you're in denial that you actually really do need somebody or need a hug or need a relationship. And I'm not talking about a romantic relationship, just a person. You need that physical contact with another human because maybe your mama didn't give it to you, your daddy didn't give it to you, but now because you didn't get it, oh well, you know what I mean? I'm going to throw myself into my work. I'm going to dive into my work. I'm going to become as successful as I possibly can. Because success to some people is a safe space. Oh, I look at my bank account, I'm successful. I have the things around me that I need, I'm successful. I don't need nobody else. I've done all of this on my own. So that must mean I'm good enough. Nobody else thought I was good enough, but clearly I am because I'm successful.
To be honest, I think for me, because I went through that, I wouldn't hurt me. That's what made me separate from people, because I felt like I would hurt me. I was wrong.
Because you were hurting yourself. Yeah.
By isolating myself, I was hurt because there was no development. There was no growth. There was just me hiding from the reality of the fact that I had something to do with where things went wrong. What I was doing was not holding myself accountable. That's why I'm so big on accountability these days, because I had to realize that it was not just her, it was me. And there were things that I could control and there were things that I couldn't control. But my mom used to tell me all the time that if everybody in the world fixed their problems and you didn't, there's still a problem. You are the problem. So all you can be concerned with is what you do and what you don't do and the things that you have control over. And the only person that has control over you is you. So hold yourself accountable. Find out where you went wrong. And if you fix those things, then God will deliver the things that are needed for you to advance. But he's not going to deliver the things that are there for you to advance until you figure out what it is that's wrong with you. Because there's a gate that you can't get past. And the way to find the way to get over this gate is to stack the things that are wrong that you need to fix, because they're stepping stones.
Yep.
Yeah, go ahead. Donnie?
You muted.
Yep.
Oh, I wasn't saying anything. I was listening.
No, that was it for me.
Oh. Well, I wanted to put that one up just because I think that, it always leads us into, the later parts of the show where we start doing more of that self-reflection stuff. It's cool to talk philosophy and past relationships, but what are we doing now to better develop ourselves? And I think that we've been hearing a lot of feedback from people through DMs or text messages about the vulnerable parts of the show when we share where we're at today, and where we're presently, pressing through and victories and whatnot. And I think that these pauses and these sober moments are actually really, really helpful. So when I was listening to you, I was really looking at my own situation and asking myself, man, because too often on this show, like I've had conversations afterwards about things that I've said, and I keep asking, do I really feel that way? If not, why did I say it in the moment? Wow. And that's why even like when Mike plays, like we're gonna do a date with Don, I'm like, no, really, we're not. Where I'm at right now, I don't need to be trying to date anybody. I need to stay on this path that I'm on because I'm figuring some stuff out. And as much as you may like and want to connect and may love and have a vision, respect people when they in that space that they trying to work on themselves and do something different. I don't
want to hurt nobody else. I don't want to hurt myself more.
Yeah, I think I'd be playing when I'm like, yeah, you can give her in therapy if she try to do a date with me right now. Like even, people I may find attractive and like, oh, okay, she's cute, or I might like that person. Like even with all that, I know where I am right now, still figuring some things out, and I'm loving it and I'm enjoying it. And my therapist told me what you've done in the past is that you would ignore where you are to try to meet the needs of somebody else who wants to be with you or may like you. And you just ignored that you needed something different. Again, it could be fear that I'm gonna miss out on something great, or it could just be the fact that you just don't really have a healthy relationship with yourself enough to set a boundary and say, hey, wow, I like you too, but there's something more important in my life right now that I need to focus on.
Wowzers.
Me.
Wowzers. Hey, I know we got 15 minutes left. I saw a clip today, but I wanted to. What you got, D?
Okay.
No, did you have something else? If you got something else you want to get into, please, let's do it.
No, it's gonna tie into the end, so we good.
You sure? Because this one should be quick.
Yeah, that's cool. Yeah,
that's what she said.
I hope not.
Gotta go back to work.
If you do not allow the word of God to govern your relationship, and y'all just living together and doing married stuff together and making all the things and doing all the things, you're not a bad person. It makes logical sense. But because it's not governed by the word of God and what he said, what ends up happening is stuff just starts going wild. Now you actually finally get married after 7 years of playing house, and he don't want you no more. It's not the same. Why? Because you were in a season living outside of the submission to the word of God. And now you got what you thought you wanted, but there is no actual exclusivity because I already had that. Already been there. And now I smell your breath in the morning. And now I got to deal with your attitude and your family and all that stuff. I'm just telling you, it goes wild.
So I've always, like, since I've been dating, I've always struggled with or went back and forth with women living with me living with women, the whole playing house thing. And I always thought like it makes sense. Why would we have two separate places when you could just, you know what I mean? A whole bunch of reasons on why it just made sense. But when you're younger, your parents just tell you you don't want to live with nobody, and you don't want to give the appearance of evil, even if y'all not, not having sex or anything like that. And I never really understood it until today when I heard his message and or saw the clip, and it dawned on, even if you take out the whole biblical aspect of living with somebody, just focus on living with a woman or living with a man for a long period of time, and then you get married. It literally has taken away some of the unknown, the fun, the spontaneity of getting to know this person on a different level, because you guys have already done it. Like, we've literally done everything that we can do under the guise of, and we're not married. So we've lived together. We've had sex. We've done all of these things, and we're not married. So what do we have forward? What do we have to look forward to when we become married?
There was a question that came up in one session, or a coach relationship session. I was talking to a client. I said, what is it that you want from them or you want to give them that you can't give to them as a friend? What is the reason you need to be their partner? And it was we didn't get a straight answer back, but it was definitely something worth considering. And I had to even ask myself, because a lot of times what you need is a best friend or a travel buddy or a business partner. Oftentimes I think that we try to use the place of marriage to meet those other needs when that's not what it's sanctioned for. And I think that's why they run their course so quick, because we didn't set off on a marriage course. We were setting out to be a power couple. Or we're setting out, what I'm saying, to enjoy this, vacations together, or, just really put our money together and build something. But marriage is so much more than that in my eyes. And I think that's where sometimes it gets confused. I was even talking to one of my friends, I think it was either yesterday or day before yesterday. And I was like, do I even want to console someone through the death of a relative? Do I want to have to alter my plans to, my weekly plans, or maybe even my calendar, because a person wants to go on a trip, or, they have a family emergency? You have to ask yourself those things. Is that something that you really, really want to do? So that's what that video just made me think about, like just the realities of what day-to-day life looks like. Because a lot of people get married and they get bored,
Being married is a lot. It's a heavy responsibility. It's a change in, you can think you're ready for it. And even when you get into it, you can feel like you're ready for it. But now your decisions is different from having a child. It's different. The decisions are different. The way you talk, because you literally are talking to yourself. When you become one with someone, you are talking to yourself. So the level of patience, the level of kindness, the level of anger, like a lot of these things are attached to this new way of life. And you're absolutely right. You have to be conscious of where you're going with this, of why you're doing it, what this person brings out of you, what you bring out of that person. It's not just a I do, let's go to prom. And I think sometimes people take it like that, people, it's a dressed up party. and there's so much more that comes with that. Go ahead. What were you saying, Donnie?
I wanted to read this verse from the Bible. Luke 14:28 is where that idea came from. Luke 14:28 says, "For which of you desiring to build a tower does not first sit down and count the costs, whether he has enough to complete it?" And I think that it's appropriate to do an inventory check, of emotional capacity. One of my friends told me I was going to wear myself out with all these, relationships and friendships in my life and not have nothing left for my marriage. If I didn't start really setting some boundaries around how much I was willing to help people and do for people, because you can find yourself burnt out when you finally run into the thing you really want to invest in. You just have no more money. You have no more energy. You have no more, your patience is running low. And now you got to go re-up. And the thing is, or the person might be sitting there waiting for you when really you could have just been more responsible with your time and your energy, knowing that you were planning to build something in the future. Start saving your money. Start saving your energy, reserve some things for that special place or that special person, instead of just trying to in the moment be like, oh, okay, I'm gonna get it together last minute. I think that's the evidence that you really believe something is for you and that you are ready to be responsible, because you're preparing and you're reserving.
I dig that. Mike, I know it's a spot for you, kind of. How you feel?
I thought I started it off. I did start it off. It was my video.
Yeah. All right.
I'm just saying. It looked like he went into a moment of I did your wedding.
There, he on Pornhub. Huh?
Jesus, never mind. Next.
I think he said this show is getting boring. No, I got what?
So
wow.
Let me ask a quick question.
No, you done.
Are we getting everything from our individual Facebook pages in the StreamYard? Because people are saying they're commenting, but I'm not seeing them in StreamYard. But I go to my page, my personal page, and I can see it on my page.
I don't know why it's not coming up in StreamYard.
La-di-da-di-da. It's the little homie. Yeah, I got one comment on my Facebook page, so it ain't me.
All right.
Okay. So this is what I was going to tag in, I guess. If we want to do another sobering moment, are y'all cool with that?
I'm good.
All right, cool. All right, so before we do what we do at the end and add that number, I want to add this last post real quick. So this is a real deal. So here we go. Depression is actually so rude. You can work so hard and have everything you want to be happy, and these chemicals in your brain are just like, nah, fam. Nah. And I wanted to put this one. All right.
Please.
Depression is actually so rude. You can work so hard and have everything you want to be happy, and these chemicals in your brain are just like, nah, fam. And I wanted to put that up there because oftentimes people think that people struggling with depression, there's just the choices that they're making, and it's just like, oh, like you can break out of it and stuff. But sometimes it is like chemical imbalance in the brain and the mind and whatnot. And the reason why I put that up is because, at the end of the show, we do talk about, mental health and mental wellness. And I know that there are people out there who struggle with this very thing. Like, it seems like nothing I do is enough. I'm trying to do everything I can. And at the end of the day, I just can't find that happy spot. I can't find a way to just sit in some peace or some joy. It seems like there's just reoccurring darkness. And I just actually finished talking to a 17-year-old the other day about this very topic and how it attacks us. And this is why we, often refer to, biblical scriptures. It's why we often refer to therapists and having accountability partners and not trying to do things by yourself, because there is this weight attached to living in this world that we try to hype ourselves through motivational speeches that don't have a lot of substance and practical application. This young person I was talking to the other day was like, I hear people encouraging me and telling me I can do it, but nobody's telling me how. And depression is just that rude. It will look at all your efforts and take into consideration all you've done and say, nope, that's not enough. And it's not something you can hype yourself out of. And that's why we continue to Mike?
No, I'm put my 2 cents in after you finish.
Okay, no, I was about to kind of tag into the line, our hotline. Go ahead.
Oh yeah, real quick though. I just want you have to also realize what you're trying to. You can't find happiness in things because it's saying that you've done everything to you have everything you wanted. Happiness can't be found in things. You can have the best job, the nicest car, the biggest house. You know what I mean? But you can't. You have to be careful in where you're trying to find your happiness. If you're thinking, oh, if I just get this job, then I'll be happy. You probably won't. You'll be happy for a season, but you probably won't. That probably won't fulfill your inner need for happiness. I feel like in order to find true happiness, you have to look at within yourself and figure out how to work things around within you in order for your happiness to be within, and then it could be shown outwardly. But trying to find happiness in things is that ain't for the. It's not going to last very long. I'll say that because things don't last forever. So that if your happiness is invested in things, then your happiness won't last forever.
There's just if I can just have a peek at happiness, a peek at peace. Like I don't think a lot of times, I know I haven't always pursued material possessions because I thought they were going to be a cure-all, but I just wanted some kind of satisfaction, some peace.
You needed a W. You needed a W, a win.
By any means necessary. You know what I'm saying? A one night stand. You know what I'm saying? Just, couldn't get the relationship I wanted, but can I get this moment I wanted? You know what I'm saying to you? And this is where we start to just, fall into this place of where it's just like, man, I'm gonna settle, or I'm gonna compromise, or I'm just gonna come to terms with I'm not gonna get that. So this is the best that I can get. So I'm gonna take this. And I mean, even that plays into depression. But I think what is it? Candid said something that was really important. People don't know they depressed. They think they're overwhelmed and tired of not wanting to be labeled. It's real.
Yeah,
it's real. I think a lot of times, like Carrie said earlier in the show, like you can't grow if you're in denial. You can't get victory if you're in denial that you're in a fight.
Yeah.
And I think that this is a part of the show where we try to help people with that self-reflection piece. Like, maybe there is something that you need to, this is reoccurring. This is a pattern. I've talked to people about who are in toxic relationship, romantic relationship. And I said, look at your other relationships. Are your platonic relationship, familiar relationship, your employee, your work relationship starting to look like your romantic relationship? There's something else going on that you got to address within yourself. And I think that if we don't address it, it just starts multiplying itself, and you can't hold down any of your relationships won't work together, won't stay together. Not the romantic ones, not the familial ones, not the work ones. It's just like you're at odds with everybody. And I think that is the chemical imbalance that God can definitely heal and fix, but he's also gifted people to walk you through and guide you into that healing, So, I'm not always want to go for medication, but there's so many other meditations. Meditation is medication for a lot of people. And I think there's ways to rewire through confession and through beliefs. Those things really do have an impact on rewiring the mind. And some people are on medication because that's, the only cure all for the moment. But I just bring this up because, we have a lot of fun on the show. And we do have, these big topics. But at the end of the day, man, this mental health, health and mental wellness is a big deal for us. And so we like to offer this resource for everybody watching the show. It's a 24-hour access line. And the number is 1-800-854-7771, 1-800-854-7771. You can call this number. If anything on this show struck you today and you just want to even just explore maybe what group therapy, individual therapy, or just, group work looks like, call the number and have a conversation with somebody. Maybe somebody who's struggling with their thoughts. And they don't want to, be labeled. Maybe you can call this number and find out how to approach it. What's the best way to approach it so you don't make it worse? Because that can happen.
Yeah.
But this number is here for you guys every week, 1-800-854-7771, because we love you.
And it sucks when you, and I'm glad you touched on that piece, because a lot of times we think that because we've gone therapy, we can, bullet to the head, tell your homeboy or your homegirl, oh, you need therapy. That could be the worst thing you could do sometimes. And the last thing you want on your conscience is somebody veering away from therapy because you are pushing so hard for them to get it. So like Donnie said, these professionals can definitely help you kind of steer the conversation or steer the topic of therapy in a more positive direction. You know what I mean?
And sometimes you don't know that, like someone said earlier, you don't know when you're not overwhelmed and you really are depressed. All of us are currently in therapy, and I myself was thinking that I was just overwhelmed with my career and things that were happening, and my therapist easily let me know that the reason that I'm sleeping so much is because I'm depressed. You know, I didn't get a chance to deal with my grandfather's passing, and kind of had to just overlap it because I was, you know, taking care of Granny, and then when Granny passed, and you know, it was just, and he was like, "That's why you're sleeping so much, and you thinking that you're tired," and you know, but
that
saying
is
that
crazy,
to say,
sir.
What?
That sleeping piece is crazy.
Oh yeah,
like that's real life.
Definitely.
Oh God.
If we could, Disney's good at making movies about stuff like that we go through internally. They have one movies about like our emotions and whatnot. But I think if we could see how hard our body is working biologically to hold grudges or to sweep stuff under the rug, we think it's just a choice. Like, I'm not gonna worry about it. Do you know it is your body is working overtime? Your organs are working overtime to house things that you need to be processing and letting go of. God says, cast your care upon me because I care for you, because I didn't build your body to hold that stuff.
Yeah.
Biologically, once we start studying that stuff, you will recognize that we are torturing ourselves within by not going and getting the help that we need, or not by holding on to things that we need to be letting go of. It's almost like if you couldn't go to the restroom, number one or number two, those toxic things will stay in your body and turn into something worse. It's the same way emotionally and mentally. There's certain things we need to just push out and let go, flush and move on.
Yes, Portia, absolutely.
Yeah.
But then also, like she said, there are low to no cost options out there. If you really want help, you can. There are ask. Don't be afraid to ask. Don't be afraid to do research as well. You know what I'm saying? Like, you have the ability. It's out there, and that number right there is a 24-hour mental health free phone call that you can make.
And many support groups are free. Many support groups are people just volunteering their time and their energy, and support groups are cool. I used to lead a few because you're seeing other people struggling the same some of the things, so you guys can like grow and help each other. So yes,
and don't be afraid to get healed and get free, because sometimes, and not to draw this conversation about mental health out longer than need be, but sometimes people don't go seek the help they need because that mental anguish and that depression has become a security blanket. They're comfortable in their routine of being depressed. I'm comfortable with just being at home by myself with the lights off, eating ice cream, or I'm comfortable with sitting in the bed crying and not really letting people in and telling people how I feel. It's okay to be free. You'll have a whole new life, and it's a freeing experience. So don't be afraid of that. I know it sounds weird. Like, who would be afraid to be better? But it happens.
Because it's going to hurt before it gets better, right?
Man, it's going to hurt. Listen. All right.
Hey, I had to write a letter to. Oh,
go ahead. No, go ahead.
Yeah, we got the time. Carrie, like, man, get the hell out of here.
No. I was actually just going to shout out somebody. One of my friends is she's on here and she's in New York, and she said about like an hour ago, like, okay, you guys are amazing. I love you guys. Great show. Have a good night. And then she hit me again just a minute ago. It was like, I could not get off the show. She was like, I couldn't stop watching, and it is 1:00 in the morning. So just shout out to everybody who's on here that are not on Pacific Standard Time. We appreciate and love you guys, even though we do love LA people, too. But
we love that y'all a little obsessed with us. It's
it's your hair.
Donnie loves it.
You can't be you can't just be shouting out your friends, man. We're gonna shout out my boy B on here.
What up, B?
Hey, you remember? Okay, because he said he know me and Mike. Yeah. B is another one of those 6'12" people. What up, dog? What up, dog? It's been a minute, man. Last time I saw you online, you was doing well. Hope the story is the same, man. Yeah. All right. Man, with that being said, I guess Carrie, you can do your part.
Listen, when she got caught though,
bruh,
oh God.
Bruh.
Did y'all see the chick that took her wig off at the airport? She had the long hair, and then she looked around and was like, put a hat on, and then stuffed that thing in her bag. Yep,
Siri don't suggest that stuff. She suggested to you.
Well,
if there's anything we posted tonight that you want to post on your page, shoot us a DM, man, on the Maybe This Was the Podcast page, and we can shoot you a post in the videos that we use tonight. Because I know sometimes people want to carry those conversations over. Ali already hit me up, and so I sent her one of the videos. But if you want some of this stuff, let us know.
Real quick too, if you guys have any testimonials, anything from the show that you think has helped, shoot us a quick 15-second, 20-second, 30-second clip. Let us know what exactly helped you and how the show is helping you, and maybe even some things that you may like to see. So please feel free to do that. You can DM us at the Maybe This Will Help the Podcast Facebook page, or on Instagram at Maybe This Will Help the Podcast.
There we go. And last but not least, what the hell is this?
So look at this, guys. There's a guy right here. If you look up towards the top in the white shirt, this was last night at Toby's concert. I have a friend. I have a friend who works there, and she's the head of security. Security kept getting complaints from people that were saying they couldn't see, and there was this person that was blocking the view in the front, and they didn't understand why he was allowed to be in the front because he was so huge. Lo and behold, it is Mr. Mike Daniels. If you look at Mike's, put it back up. If you look at Mike's eyes and you follow it to the right, you'll see a person in a white t-shirt. That's Mike, big ass.
Listen, can't miss him. Can't miss him.
Security didn't say nothing.
What was they gonna say, Mike?
Security. You know who security is? Security is Kiki, Miseducated. That's the head of security.
Okay.
Right.
Thank you, Kiki. Thank you.
So when they was hitting her, she was like, "There's nothing we can do about it, sir."
Sorry. They could have definitely came and tapped on my shoulder if they needed to, but nobody did that either. So.
Listen, go with God.
Yep. All right.
That's exactly what he would have looked like turning around.
Oh man.
So with that being said, Mike, you want to pray us out?
Yeah, for sure.
Oh,
wait, what was that? What was that flash? What is that? Wow.
One more time before the get down. Maybe this will help the podcast. If you loved what happened tonight, you want to see us continue to move this thing forward. We appreciate any contributions. Man, we're trying to do some things, and it just takes some money to do some things. And if you want to be a part of us doing some things, then maybe you can help us as we help others, man. Let's just listen. Don't make faces while I'm petitioning, bruh. You mess it up.
You want to move this thing forward.
Y'all, if y'all brothers just don't smile and just look pretty. Welcome to Bros Barbecue.
Did you just
I pressed my bro.
All right, go ahead, Mike. You got it.
Thank you for bringing us here tonight, Lord, and letting us have another successful show, Lord. I thank you that if anybody was touched or reached, that they don't just, like my brother says, they don't just let it go in one ear and out the other. They actually sit with that thing that has helped them and kind of, think about it and contemplate on it, Lord. So it doesn't lose its traction throughout the week, Lord. I just thank you and praise you for surrounding your angels about us as we move through this week, Lord. And I thank you that you help us to be in the right place at the right time, doing the right thing, Lord. Thank you and praise you for all the things that you're going to do for us through this week, Lord, the things we can see and the things we can't see. In Jesus' name we pray. Amen.
Amen, amen, and amen. Thank y'all for coming out. God bless. 2 Chainz.